Hope everyone's doing well. I'm sure everyone is in a kind of awkward state right now as far as what to do, where to go, what to buy. And for some of us content creators, we're also probably spinning our wheels on what's some good content to put out there that's somewhat a little bit more meaningful. It just seems like at this time and place, a lot of people aren't going to be buying brand new gear all the time. A lot of people like myself are probably out there and, doing a little prepping, getting some extra supplies here at home. I'm here in San Diego, and they recently, of course, shut down all schools. All the amusement parks, pretty much everything in California is starting to slowly shut down. We still have, of course, our grocery stores and all those things still open up at this moment. We're still able to move about town. And I think it's just a matter of time before they're going to say it's like a shut in where basically you can't leave the house. And so if it gets to that point, it gets to that point. I think we have enough, supplies to maintain us for a little while. And I wasn't sure exactly the type of content I wanted to put out there. I do have drone stuff. I do have some camera gear and some accessories and stuff that I'm still going to put out there, mainly because I think it's just great for this time to just, kind of sit back and hopefully, digest what's happening. And then also people like myself and other content creators out there are hopefully going to start putting out some content just for us to consume and take up some of this time as far as providing you guys some entertainment in this downtime. But for this video, I did want to talk about a product that I feel like it might be very useful for, upcoming times that we're going through. And that's actually having some sort of battery pack. But I do want to talk about this product because I was sent this about a month and a half ago before I went to my Tahoe trip. Blue Yeti, Maxoak actually reached out to me and wanted to see if I want to test out their mobile power station. This is the 500, the Maxoak 500. And then even when I went to Tahoe last year, I used the Goal Zero one. So I bought this one a long time ago. This one worked out well while I was also in the field. This one's super heavy compared to this one. I don't know if it's just the manufacturing of like the casing, but this one's like super light and this one is kind of old school and it's super heavy. This is actually only a 400. But the main reason why I got it and wanted to do a review, and I wasn't going to do a dedicated review on this thing because I just wanted to talk about this as though I'm using it as some of the gear that I did bring with me to Tahoe. But I think in this kind of case, we had a blackout here many years ago in San Diego, which pretty much, eliminated everything. You couldn't charge your phone, your laptop, anything. And that's the reason why I bought the Goal Zero one. So I think this might be a product that people aren't really thinking about just yet because maybe you don't have a blackout in your area, but definitely was always on my, the back of my mind of having a blackout again and what am I going to do? How do I prepare myself? So when they offered me to review this, I was like, oh, for sure, because not only do I want to be able to charge all my devices, I did power this up and use this for a lot of my smaller appliances. Now, some of the things that's a little different with this battery, and like I said, it's actually super light. This thing charges up a little bit of everything, and that's what I really liked about it. So of course, when I did drive up to Tahoe and I was flying my drones, I was charging up all my drone batteries off of this solely while I was in the car, while I was back at the hotel room, just to test it out, see how powerful it was, see how much, it was actually being drained from the pack when I, had to hook up a couple batteries as well as my laptop. This thing actually did really, really well compared to my Goal Zero. Now I can't really do a side by side while I was in the field, but this was able to charge up things like my laptop, which was a MacBook Pro, which was fully depleted, charged up my MacBook, charged up 2 drone batteries, which was my Mavic 2 Pro, as well as my Osmo Action and my camera battery. And all of that went from almost zero, I'd probably say about 15 to 20%, to full charge on those devices, and it literally took off about 25% off of this battery here, if that. I think it actually took off about 20% off the battery. So it even has a wireless pad here up top, so if you have wireless phones charging, you can be able to place that right on top here and just kind of go through some of the basic stuff that it does here have on front. Has the DC and AC power activation. On the bottom we have the USB-C port, so these are all DC out on the very bottom, USB-C port, and then we have 4 USB-A ports. We have 2 DC out 12 volts right here, and then also the most important one, the AC out 120 volt right here, so you're able to plug in full size things like your chargers or your appliances and things like that. A cigarette lighter, so if you want to actually use something with a cigarette lighter here. And then what's kind of cool is that on the back they have a little light, so that's on. You can actually turn on this light, so you have a couple settings here with a light. So things like that that's actually built in and integrated into the system is pretty nice to have. So if you were to keep this out on a table and you just wanted to have light on the table while you're charging everything, really nice kind of integration into the system, which is really cool. So if you're out and about and you want to charge and still see everything, you're able to hook up this little light. And of course we have the input, which is where you're going to be charging it right here. Has nice handles here up top to make it easy to transport, which fold away right on the inside. It's one of those things where I don't really think about using too much. Every time I take a road trip basically, or every time I go anywhere, even if I go like to LA, which is only a couple hours away, I will normally always have that Goal Zero, and now I have this thing in the trunk, and it's really just as a backup measure for anything that were to happen. Right now, especially with what's happening, who knows if there's gonna be a possible blackout. We really just don't know what's gonna happen. So what I did with this was not only did I test it out, charging up my laptops and drone batteries and things like that, which of course works really, really well. I did also try it with small appliances. So even though we had a blackout, and if I needed to say cook something, I'm able to hook it up to small little appliances like my toaster. You always have to kind of think, okay, what might be that next thing? If electricity goes out, how am I going to be able to charge it? Yes, this thing charges off of a wall outlet. You can use a cigarette lighter to charge it, but also what's great is that you can plug in a solar panels to this. So I was able to buy a 100-watt solar panel, and it comes directly with this. It's not included here, but you're able to hook up a solar panel, and it has the plugs that goes right into the back of this. Then you're able to now hook up a solar panel to this. So if it does go out, I have the 100-watt panel system that's able to then recharge this back up. So the idea behind that is even if the power does go out and I'm using this battery pack, I now have a solar panel that's going to be charging this simultaneously. Then I can plug this into my small mini fridge, or I can use it while I'm using my toaster, plug it in, use it, cook my food, and then unplug it. Keep this thing always charged up. Kind of peace of mind of what might happen, because it did happen here in San Diego not too long ago. We had a full blackout for I think it was about 8 hours. Those are things that kind of get left behind. You don't really think about it because you're like we're so kind of focused on what's happening right now with just the amount of resources that people want. But then again, what's that next thing? So I just want to talk about that in this video. Maxoak sent me this to test out mainly for drone batteries and my laptop and gear charging, which this thing absolutely is a beast for. I was charging all my gear with it, and it works really, really well. But the thing is now, it's like it made me realize, all right, there's other things now, appliances and things like that we're gonna need in case of emergencies just like this. So, if you guys haven't thought about getting a backup supply of power, I really wish I had something like the Tesla home battery already for my house. That might be the next purchase I want to make. Maxoak sent me a coupon code and a link. Use those down below if you guys want a discount on it. This is a lot newer, a lot lighter. This one is, I believe, about $4.99 on Amazon right now. And then if you use the code down below, it takes $100 off. And I think they're already having a $25 or $50 sale on it as it is. So that could be like another $125, $150 off this price. So if you guys are looking at possibly getting into backup power for yourself, your house, I just really like it because I have kids and I want to find and know I have a way to maintain electricity in the house some way or another. That peace of mind is something that I just really wanted to have. That's about it for this video, guys. This is Aldrin Stasio with FlytPath.com. If you guys got some value from this video, of course, hit that like button. I really appreciate it, guys. Please be safe out there. I'll be back, of course, with some more gear and tech reviews and product reviews. So stay tuned. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And until then, I'll see you next one. Take care.